Okay, let's do this. So welcome everybody to the unveiling of The Village in Karnei Shomron by the Harey Zahav Group. We're IL360, and this is a very, very exciting a webinar for us. This is our first webinar about this development, and this is this is the best development I've ever worked on in terms of a lot of things, and we'll get to speak about all of that. If anyone has questions throughout the webinar, we have a question box, and we'll be answering all the questions at the end. So my name is Lev Blinder. This is my partner, Nechemya Kaufman. We're from IL360. I made Aliyah with my family when growing up from New York, and really feeling the struggles and what families go through with making Aliyah. There are a bunch of amazing things, but it's not the easiest, simplest thing. And definitely once it comes to buying a property in Israel, it's a very complicated ordeal. And we at IL360, we're really here to simplify it. We're always accessible, we're always available, and we're here to make the process seamless and comfortable for all our buyers. So on that note, we're also going to have attorney Azriel Jakubowitz with us, who's actually joining from the States. He's in all across the tri-state area meeting clients, but Azriel Jakubowitz is a dear friend and an excellent attorney. He actually is the person who made the connection between us and Harey Zahav back in the day, so we're very grateful to him, and we're very excited to have him on this panel with us. So before we get started, I just really wanted to say that everybody here showing up to this webinar, we had hundreds of people sign up to the webinar and a crazy amount of people that already joined, and we're very excited for this. And it's really a beautiful thing to see how when times are tough for the Jewish people, like the Jews come, and the place that they're facing to and the place that they go to is Israel. And it's an incredible thing to see all the interest and all the support that Jews from the diaspora give to Israel. And we're excited to come and try to give a special product for Anglos coming to live in Israel. So on that note, I'd love to introduce a dear friend of mine, Zev Epstein, who's the founder and owner of Harey Zahav, to say a few words. Zev is literally a pioneer in his field, and as you could see, all these blue dots on the map, these are all developments by Harey Zahav, and Harey Zahav is a relatively young company, but I'll let Zev take it from here.
Hello, everybody. It's an honor being with you. I came to Israel 35 years ago, and after I finished high school, I went to learn in yeshiva for 5 years, Haredi yeshiva, and after this, I volunteered to the army and been 3 years in the Armored Corps, been fighting in Second Intifada and Chomat Magen operation. After this, I started business, and then in 2007, I started this company. And our major project is called Leshem. It's like a settlement from scratch, 700 units. It's finished, and I'm here now. It's a great place, and we have like 25 projects. And this specific project, we invested a lot of time and focus to do it exactly right for the American audience. From the years of hearing what Americans want, we try to do the best. So I will hope you like it, and I pass the mic to Lev.
Thank you so much, Zev. So really, like I started saying, Harey Zahav is an incredible company. They're a pleasure to work with, and they're really very, very focused on their clients' needs. And we really built a beautiful product that we'll start speaking about now. So let's speak about Karnei Shomron. So where is Karnei Shomron? But before we get to where is Karnei Shomron, what makes Karnei Shomron special? So these are like the 6, I would say, bullet points that we're going to speak about today. We're going to speak about the proximity to Central Israel, how close it is, how Karnei Shomron is practically Central Israel. We're going to speak about the vibrant Anglo community that already exists and lives in Karnei Shomron. We're going to speak about affordable luxury big homes that you could get. Like it's literally half the price of Ra'anana, and it's right by Ra'anana. We're going to speak about the investment potential, the fact that we also don't have capital gains tax if you're foreigners, and there are a bunch of other investment aspects to this deal as well. We're going to speak about the natural beauty of Karnei Shomron. Karnei Shomron is literally just surrounded by greens and rolling mountains, and it's just an incredible place. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. We're going to speak about the fact that there is no purchase tax for foreigners. That's literally one of the biggest expenses. When every buyer that buys through us gets a very clear chart of the different expenses that they have and they're going to have throughout the process of purchasing. And literally you could call it the red line, because I literally put it in red because that's the biggest expense is the purchase tax. It's an 8% purchase tax. It could be hundreds of thousands of shekels. We'll speak about that a little bit more throughout this presentation. So where is Karnei Shomron? Karnei Shomron is literally in central Israel. So as you can see, Karnei Shomron is right over here. It's very close to the main cities in Israel, like Tel Aviv, Herzliya, Ra'anana. It's 20 minutes from Ra'anana. It's very close to the water. It has a direct road connecting directly to Karnei Shomron, a direct highway connecting directly to Karnei Shomron. It's a very easy drive, and it's very easy job-wise. You could literally work in central Israel and still work in a beautiful suburban area surrounded by nature, but still have the accessibility of being in central Israel. So it's really an incredible place. Here is to dive in a little bit deeper to Karnei Shomron. So Karnei Shomron is built of 5 neighborhoods. So you have Neve Menachem, Karnei Shomron, you have Ginot Shomron, Neve Aliza, and Ma'ale Shomron. These 5 and then right up here in Ma'ale Shomron, very close to Neve Aliza, is where our development is, the village that we call. The development that we call the village is right up here. It's right next to Neve Aliza. Now, the beauty of Karnei Shomron, there are so many things that are beautiful about Karnei Shomron. I'll just, let's start with the beauty of Karnei Shomron. Yeah. So the beauty of Karnei Shomron, like every time, I remember the first time going to Karnei Shomron, it's like you're in central Israel for 1 second, and a second later you're already in some gorgeous place that you feel like you're, when you're in New York and you go upstate and you're in the nature and between these massive trees and in the mountains, but you need to drive for about 3 hours to get there. So here you're in central Israel, you're in Tel Aviv, and with a snap of your fingers, you're already in this gorgeous suburban area with crazy views. Obviously, you could see in a lot of the mountaintops, you could see the water. You could just see endless amount of green, and there are bike trails and just endless amount of nature. And it's just a beautiful place to literally just, if you want to really feel Eretz Yisrael, but still be connected to work and be connected to central Israel, it's literally the ideal place. So now let's talk a little bit about the more practical things. So the daily life in Karnei Shomron, like a family that you need to go shopping, there is shopping. Doctors' offices, there are doctors' offices, banks, education, amazing education. There is great transportation. And if we actually we dive into the actual neighborhoods, it's very cool because Karnei Shomron started as a few separate areas, and then they all joined together to join Karnei Shomron. But you have this neighborhood, Neve Aliza, that's actually named after Aliza Begin. Neve Aliza is a neighborhood that's basically all Anglo. Sorry, not all American, but all Anglo. And there are a lot of Canadians and a lot of Europeans that also moved here. And it's really like you have hundreds of families here, and it's an incredible community. We hang out there and we speak to people from there, and it's just such good people, like really quality good people. And our development is literally right next door. And it's just I could say that for a family to move to Karnei Shomron is probably one of the better decisions that they can make. And we'll see a little bit more in the next slides as well. Now let's dive into the village. The village, this is our development right over here. The village in Karnei Shomron. So there are the buildings right in front, and then in the back is what we really call the village. This is 26 homes on a quiet road. And as you can see, look at all this green around. It's literally like you just dropped a complex right in the nature. It's really just incredible. And like all this green is real, and this area is just put in with the rendering.
Do you jump in?
Yeah, let's jump in.
You jump in. Let's see, luscious and green. We can jump in.
Yeah, exactly. On one side of the development, we have all this green area, and on the other side, there's a park right over here. So it's really just an incredible area. So let's jump in. This is the street. This is a street view that you could see. Now, you could see Aliyah is also here with us, but me, Aliyah, and Zahav were in the States a few weeks ago, about a month ago, something like that, and we're going back and forth with the architects and trying. Zahav is like, I want to make the perfect perfect development for Anglos. And I remember, I think in our first meeting, Zahav was showing us this development. This is a while ago, and Zahav is like, what do you think Anglos need? And literally, we just spat out a bunch of different ideas and things that we thought that Anglos could appreciate or need or things like that. And literally, Zahav applied everything over here and literally sat to make sure that the architects put all his vision into reality over here, which is incredible. So
yeah,
we're gonna hear.
The company did not spare any effort, the resources. You should have seen the architect. He was upset already at Zahav. Zav's like, change this, change that. He's like, I already did this like 15 times. I was like, do it again. I don't care. I need this to be perfect, which was unusual. Usually these Israeli contractors, they go, okay, whatever the architect slaps on, it's good. Let's sell it and move on. Not Zahav and not Harey Zahav.
Like this all you could see here that a lot of the new construction that you see that's going up around Israel is basically slabs of concrete, just big squares, big boxes. Here we came and we took, like, I remember we're sitting with architects and we're like, open Google Maps, the street view, open Google Earth and check out this address, check out that address. And we're sending pictures, and Lisa is going around the States and just taking pictures of houses. And literally there was a lot of thought and effort put into these homes to make them really homey and feel good. Like you could also see how you see this door right over here. This door is the door to the kitchen. Now, the idea here is, and the idea that it's such a big window and a big door is that way you could see your kids playing outside. Your kids could be riding their bike and playing basketball in the driveway. And it's just really an incredible, every little thing here was really thought out carefully. This is, like, in my opinion, this is the ideal place to raise a family. This is the ideal place to have kids, to have grandchildren around. Like, this is just really the ideal home that you could have in Israel. And it's like really, really a special product. So if we get into some more details over here, you see, by the way, this hot tub. So we'll get to it soon, but you're right, this is just a rendering. But we're actually going to have a hot tub in the garden as well. So this is a private garden that
You look really excited about that hot tub.
Of course, I'm waiting for my cold beer and jump in the hot tub.
Just hang out with the family.
Of course. And so basically, this is a private garden that every house has. You see these windows. Even the windows are like, they're not just regular square plastic windows. These are windows that actually have a design to them. They're with a lot of thought, and every little part of this house is really thought out very, very practically and very, very. There's a really homey and comfortable feeling about the whole design, and we'll really get into that a little bit more now. By the way, I'll go up here, just that way you can see it out here. So you see every home is basically 2 floors plus a basement. So there's a proper big 2-floor home, plus you have a very big basement if that was not enough space for you. But Nechemya, take this.
All right, so thank you, Lev. So Lev is he's probably the most talented person I know. He taught me.
Let's continue.
Hey, I'm speaking, okay? He taught me everything I know, so thank you for all of that. So right here on the right, where you see the car, essentially that's the driveway. Right here is the driveway area. You have a garage, and you could park 2 cars, one in the garage and one in the driveway. But there's definitely that option. We come around here, okay? We come around to the entrance. This is the entrance. It's a big, beautiful door, a nice door. And as we come in, there are nice, tall ceilings to give an open space. Like Lev said before, there's a lot of effort and time put into this to make sure that all the details of this house are actually thought of, and not just, whatever comes first stays. So we went through many plans, and we took what we liked from certain plans, and we took other things we didn't like, and we changed them around.
We literally moved the house several times.
Yeah, the architect was not happy with us. He's like, I usually do this in no time, and you guys take a long time, but it was a lot of fun.
We're lucky the architect likes that. That's
yeah. Does that everybody likes that? Or to the left, as you come in to the left, there's a really massive kitchen. There's plenty of cabinetry for pantry, for pots and pans, or for whatever you need. There's plenty of counter space. There's a massive island in the middle where your family could sit around and have family dinners. There's a door out to the garage, which is, I think, really exciting. I know when I go to America, it's like, you park, you come in through the garage, you don't have to go into the heat or the cold, which is, I think, pretty amazing. You didn't hear this from me, but potentially this wall could be removed, and you could really incorporate this garage space into your kitchen, into your home, but you didn't hear that from me. As we move in towards the dining room, living room area, we have a staircase. We have a guest bathroom over here, okay, next to the stairs. And as we move towards the dining table area, we have a nice break front over here. We have windows, obviously, okay. And this dining room table could really stretch all the way to the kitchen, and you can host big family gatherings.
Much more than just big family gatherings.
How many people do you think you could host here?
I don't know, but a lot.
Like a lot, right? This is a ton of space. Every time Lev and I go over the plan, we're like, well, maybe we should get one of these ourselves. And I'm seriously thinking about it. It's really that nice. Right here, we have the big living room area. It's very cozy, very nice, but a nice space for the family. And right outside here, through the glass doors, you have a beautiful patio, a hot tub for the family to hang out with friends and family, and obviously a nice private garden. I didn't mention this before, but this home spans 3,423 square feet, as you can see at the top left, which is not a mega mansion for American standards, but it's still really big. And it's a really unique, special home. It's a unique, special area. And for the way I see it, and I think Lev agrees with me, this is a wonderful place to raise a family with a supporting community, and a wonderful place to live. Now let's go see the second floor. So as we come up the second floor, to the left, we have a really big master bedroom. It's just like, I see it, and it's just really big. Any way you look at it, it's just really big. It comes with a walk-in closet, which you don't get those in Israel. We have closets along the wall, because that's what we have here. But here,
actual built-in
yeah, these are real built-in closets, like American style built-in closets.
Not just the room.
Right, because when we speak to American buyers, US buyers, they always tell us, are there closets? And we're like, no. So like one of the first things we told Zev we need are walk-in closets. And he's like, sure, no problem. We'll make sure it's there. Then there's the master bathroom. It has 2 sinks, a very nice size shower, and a toilet. And then we have 3 bedrooms. So
and a bathtub.
And a bathtub. So I just want to point out one thing. This plan, it actually has 4 bedrooms. There is another plan that we have 5 bedrooms on this floor, but we actually chose to show the 4-bedroom option just because we thought it would be a little more spacious, a little more exciting. But we do have other options. So here's bedroom number 1. It has a walk-in closet. And after that, we see a storage room, which is actually a laundry room. It could be a storage room. There's also a place to put a laundry room downstairs in the basement, but you could choose where to put it. The 2nd bedroom and the 3rd bedroom has a walk-in closet, which is right next to the master bathroom. In the master bathroom, we have 2 sinks. We have a toilet, a shower, and a bath, which is really, really crazy because you can choose, the best option for you at that time and use it. And this walk-in closet in bedroom 3 could also be turned into a bathroom and an ensuite, just because it's next to the bathroom over here. If this wasn't enough room for you, we have a really massive basement. It's 1,000 square feet. We walk down the stairs over here. We have the safe room, the mamad to the right, with a bathroom, which is pretty much ensuite. We have this whole area over here. It's a nice open area. You can choose what to do with it. You can have a family room. You can have a pool table. You could have a living room. You could have a playroom.
You could have an office, more bedrooms.
Like it's pretty much endless. So there's one thing in Israel that you always need is space. People are always looking for space, right, Zev? Right, see Zev's smiling. He's like, everybody always needs space. So one of the main things we took into consideration while designing this is space. And we know people want space, and we spent a lot of effort focusing on that. Okay, so a lot of developments in Israel really say like we're luxury, we're special. But
before you get to that, there's just one other thing I wanted to add about the plans. The very cool part about buying on paper is that you could decide how to design your home, how to make some changes. Like Nechemya said before, we have this is a 4-bedroom option, but we also have a 5-bedroom option for this floor. Or when you go to the basement, like here you have, this is another storage room, but you could technically turn it into an additional, you could turn this into your laundry room and have more space upstairs. Like you could literally play with everything in a much easier way and in a much better way. And
what would you do, by the way?
I don't know. It depends. If I need an office, I would stick an office here. I would definitely have that pool table. That pool table looks fun. And yeah.
Do you ever get work done?
Eh,
once in a while, right?
Exactly.
So a lot of developments claim to be luxury, but this special development really took it to a whole new level. This is like real luxury living. We saw some of the features already, but we have built-in closets. We have
the good stuff.
Yeah, this is the really good stuff. This is what makes this place, this development really, really exciting. We have beautiful, big upgraded kitchens. We had nice, beautiful heated floors for the winter. I know, in Israel it gets a little cold, not as cold as the tri-state area, but it does get cold. And it's really nice when you get to step on a nice warm floor. You have a garage for parking. You have extra space, an outdoor jacuzzi. Doesn't that jacuzzi look fun?
I told you, I'm waiting for my beer and jump in.
Yeah, that's right. It does look really fun. The home comes fully air conditioning. There's a large basement and a smart home system, so you can control everything from the jacuzzi. So it's really nice. It's really amazing. All right, so now that we understood about the home, we understood about the area, we heard from Lev, we heard from Zev. Now it's time to get down for business. So this is a really, really unique opportunity, and we have a special offer for the first 2 units. The price starts at 4.9 million shekels and only 20% down payment. So this is really a no-brainer. This is a wonderful, wonderful deal. The completion is guaranteed within 3 years. And like we said before, no purchase tax for foreign buyers. Purchase tax for 4.9 million shekels is around 400,000 shekels and around $125,000. And Lev, what are the prices in?
Like I'll just tell you that the prices when you go to anywhere around here, when we're looking at Kfar Saba, Ra'anana, we're looking at almost like for Kfar Saba, almost double the price. Ra'anana is definitely double the price. You go a little further to Herzliya and Tel Aviv, and we're not even in the ballpark. We're talking about in the tens of millions.
Tens of millions for the same thing or even less.
So you're really getting a premium product, and between me and you, in a much more exotic and better location, for literally a fraction of the price. So it's really, I think, a no-brainer deal.
And like only
Plus-
20% down
Plus,
payment.
this is a really luxurious development, highest standard, highest end, and with all these crazy features as well, which is incredible, really incredible.
And we're going to be hear more from Azriel about the different tax benefits that come with it. So I'd like to introduce Azriel. Azriel is a wonderful lawyer, a good friend, and he's actually joining us from the US. Hi, Azriel.
Hi, how are you? Great to see you again. So first of all, before I go into the actual, legal part, I'll introduce myself. My name is Azriel Jacobowitz. I live in Israel, in Efrat. I just landed about 5 hours ago here in New York for work, meeting clients. I was looking at the list of names here on the side of the participants, and I even recognized a few names, clients who I've helped in previous deals. So that's very nice, very exciting. So first of all, I want to also emphasize, I don't work for Harey Zahav. Harey Zahav has an in-house lawyer. I've dealt with them several times, representing clients who bought apartments and houses from them in different locations in Israel. And I was very impressed from their professionality and fairness. And that's why I introduced Lev and Nechemya, who I knew from other projects that Harey Zahav, and I thought it would be a great match, and it looks like it's working beautifully. So let me start going into some legal parts, and also especially the structure of how to buy property in Israel. Very different than in the States, but over here we're talking about not pre-existing properties, but from a developer. So you're buying on paper. The first two bullet points that you see are we'll call it pre-lawyer stages. Of course, when you find the property that you like and you agree on the commercial terms, which are the price, the payment schedule, also the technical specifications, what you're getting, what's in the place. You like it, you want to move forward. That is usually when you contact a lawyer to start helping you with the first stages. Most developers will ask you to sign a registration sheet. Some of them will ask you to put down a few bucks for earnest money, to show that you're serious. Some won't, depending, but it's a deposit that if you eventually, for legal reasons or other due diligence reasons, you don't want it. Usually, most cases, almost 100%, you'll get your deposit back. After you did that, that's when the lawyer kicks in and starts negotiating the legal terms with the developer, goes over the contract. The contract has many appendices, a lot of documents that you have to go through and make sure that there's nothing, no hidden agendas. You go back and forth with a lawyer, and eventually, once you reach it, you sign the contract, and then you can move forward to the next stages. Let's see the next slide. Okay, so in Israel, there are systems that are in place, different kinds of systems depending on the property, to secure the buyer's money. Okay, in this specific case, it's very interesting. The type of rights, I'm not going to go into it now, it's a little boring, but it's called barishut. And the basic idea over here is that you get ownership of the land, a certain ownership. You get the rights almost in day one once you sign the contract. And then your contract, the type of contract you have with the developer is for construction services. And then you pay either according to milestones in construction, or in this case, what they're offering, 20% down payment and then everything else at the end. So you have zero exposure because you're building on your own land. Of course, there are a lot of consumer laws in Israel that have to do with buying property, has to do with warranties for the quality of construction, for the timetable, when you're supposed to get possession. If the developer is late, then there are penalties in place. Of course, there's a little wiggle room and some grace periods, but other than that, if the developer is late and you count it on a certain date, then the developer has to compensate. But it's very rare. Now with the war, when it started, a lot of developers had some setbacks, but everyone are back on track. So the dates that you get for possession are usually, they take into account almost anything that could be unexpected. Go to the next slide. Okay, so I think Lev and Nechemya had mentioned the changes that you can make in the layout. So these things are done post-signing. Okay, in Israel, signing the contract is the closing, as opposed to the States, where the closing is when you get possession and you get ownership. Over here, signing a contract is a binding agreement, and then you're on track towards completion. Once you sign, you'll get a schedule of until when you have to give all the changes and modifications that you want to make. If you want, more rooms, less rooms. I'm talking about everything internal changes, not external. You can't change locations of doors or windows or the way the project looks. A lot of thought was put into that, but internally, if you want different kinds of tiles that are offered, you could upgrade, get credits for whatever you don't take. Sky's the limit, basically. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, so closing costs. Okay, closing costs are very important to notice over here, and so I'm going to be a little slower on this. Okay, usually when you buy from a developer, the price that you see is not the final price. Some developers will add to it, to their price, a certain percentage and then make it final, but it's not always worthwhile. And there's the inflation rate that affects the cost of construction, and that affects also the price. The price doesn't go up in the entire difference of the inflation rate, the index that goes up. Only 40% of the index. Let's say if it went up 10%, it never goes up that much. Yeah, but I'm just giving for the easy example. So you'll only be paying an additional 4%. Usually it's much less, especially in a 3-year period. Also, it's important to emphasize that this increase only affects unpaid amounts. That means if you paid forward already 50%, so this 50% that you paid are not affected anymore by the index and by the inflation. Other closing costs, you have legal costs. Sometimes they impose a small amount that's actually regulated by law to pay also the developer's lawyer. If you're taking a mortgage, you can get up to a 50% mortgage if you're a foreign resident. Of course, you have to show income, but you have to pay a mortgage broker, real estate agents, all these things. Lev mentioned a few times the purchase tax. Usually you have an 8% purchase tax as a foreign resident. Over here, it doesn't apply. It's actually sort of a loophole, but the tax authority is well aware of that, and it's intentional, even though it's a loophole, and that's a tremendous save. Everything you buy or services that you get in Israel have a value-added tax, which is today 18%. That is factored into the price already. It's not an additional amount, but I'm mentioning it because if that tax changes, it'll also affect unpaid amounts. But right now it's very high, so it probably could only go down, but we don't know. That's things that have to do with the government. We spoke about upgrades and additions. If you want to make changes, modifications, then you have to pay for anything extra that you take. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so I'm not going to go into pre-existing properties. I mentioned but this is not not a webinar about buying pre-existing properties. Over here that you're buying from a developer, so you have warranties according to law, extended warranties for everything in the construction, beginning with 4 years and going up to 7. For every single element, the developer has to be there for you. If something comes up, God forbid, something is wrong. It's not like buying a secondhand property. When you buy secondhand property pre-existing, you're buying as is. That's the general rule. And then if you discover things that something happened right after you got possession, not much you can do about it because you bought it as is. Over here, you're buying new and you're expected to get something as perfect as possible of a product. Okay, we're talking about 7 years. Like people are usually afraid about, afraid of leaks, wetness, all these things. They have 7-year warranty. That means that if 7 years went by and everything is dry, you knew that it was built properly. I'm, not here to give, scores, but I've seen the products that Harey Zahav built, and I see my clients, in different properties and different developments. I don't remember ever hearing complaints about the quality of construction by Harey Zahav. Okay, so another thing that's important to know, because I bring it up because there are different standards in Israel and in the States. In Israel, when you're buying a house, you're buying basically walls. That's all you're getting. You're getting walls. Of course, you get a kitchen cabinets. Many times you'll get bathroom cabinetries, the basic ones. They don't go into appliances. They're not going to start selling you a refrigerator or a washer or dryer. Everyone wants his own things, and developers usually can't start taking, because they have the warranties, they can't give you warranties for appliances. Some places they'll give you air conditioners or only preparation for air conditioners, heaters. Over here in this project specifically, it is included. It's not common, okay? But over here in this project, the heating, Karnei Shomron, is not very, very high up elevation-wise, but it is in the mountains, so it can get a little chilly in the winter. So you have heating, you have air conditioning in the project included.
We also have built-in closets. Yeah.
Right. These are things that are not common. They're not standard. Actually, you're talking about the built-in closets that, took me by surprise, and I've never seen that anywhere else. As far as financing, so I'm not a mortgage broker, but since I've been doing this for 21 years, so I know more or less what you can get. Israeli residents can get up to 75% financing if it's their only apartment. It says here first, but it's not necessarily first. If you sold something, you're buying something else, still eligible to up to 75% financing. But if you're a foreign resident or you're buying an investment property, which means additionally you don't plan on selling your existing property, you can get up to 50% of a mortgage. And the mortgage rates are started to go down a little bit now. And from what I know, they're even in Israel a little lower than they are typically in America. We do recommend taking a mortgage broker, especially for foreign residents, because there's a lot. You need someone who knows how to read all your 1040s and to analyze your income and prove to the bank that you're eligible for the mortgage. We work with very good people, and we're always happy to give recommendations. Okay, as far as taxes, over here, not relevant in this project. Again, I spoke about this this loophole. It's tax-free as long as you're buying it when you're still a non-resident. If afterwards you make Aliyah, it does not affect retroactively. You don't have to start paying back the purchase tax, and you just made a gain. There is one thing that is specific to this kind of development I mentioned before, the type of rights that you have in Karnei Shomron. It's called Bar Reshut, and you're getting the rights from the World Zionist Organization, who got the land, who got like you saw the development. They got the area from the Israel Land Authority, and they give it for the purpose of settling the land. It's called the Chativa Lehityashvut, the organ under the World Zionist Organization that allocates the land. And to get it, the purpose is to live there. So someone who is a non-citizen of Israel and wants to get rights, it's not the same as a citizen. It is possible that you have to go through check two boxes. One is to sign a statement that you intend on coming to Israel. Of course, nobody's going to come and check, and you have to actually came, and we believe that you all do have intentions of coming at one point at some point in time, and it's a statement that you have to sign. And the second is a little more proactive. You have to file and show that you filed an application for Aliyah with one of the recognized agencies for Aliyah, either the Jewish agency, Nefesh B'Nefesh. All you have to do is fill out the application online. You'll get that afterwards. I know how to get a letter from them confirming that you filed the application, and then you're eligible to get ownership on the land. Yeah, let's go to our next slide.
Azriel, just 1 second.
Yes.
So basically what you're saying is if you're a foreign buyer, you wouldn't pay purchase tax. But if you made Aliyah, and then purchased this home, you would pay purchase tax.
Right. If you made Aliyah and then purchase, you would pay purchase tax, but the purchase tax here is different. I have to emphasize again, because of the structure of the deal, because you're not buying, it's very important legally to understand this deal. You're not buying an apartment from Harey Zahav. You're getting the land. You're getting the land for free, by the way. Anyone who signs with one of the developers who won tenders to build these developments under the Chativa L'Hitiyashvut, they get the allocation of the land for free. They don't pay for it. So and with Harey Zahav, you have a construction service contract. So because it's not a purchase, there's no real full purchase tax anyway. So even if you were an Israeli, you would only pay on the land, not on the construction services. And because the land you're getting for free, so it's a little tricky over there because different offices in the tax authority treat it differently. But most of them, they want to see what is the cost, the cost of the development cost of the land. Usually it'll be, I don't know, like 100,000 shekel per unit or something. And on that you'll only pay 5% tax because that's the tax bracket.
Just to keep things simple, if people are interested in purchasing, they should purchase before they make Aliyah rather than after.
Correct, because then
okay, perfect. I just wanted to clarify that.
Right. Okay. Now, so since you're there's a olim benefit on taxes, you went to the next slide. That's good. Again, it's a little irrelevant over here because you can't get a tax benefit if you didn't pay taxes. The same way, that I heard there's some city in the world, I don't remember what city it was, that there's some mayoral candidate who said that he's going to give free bus rides for everyone. So I don't know, people are going to be upset that they also don't get changed. But so if you don't pay tax, you're not gonna get any benefits. But if you do buy it after it's ready, okay, that's what's important to know. And if you're in Israel already and you have to pay for the full house, not for something that's just on paper and you're just paying for buying the land, then there's tremendous benefit. And today, if you buy 1 year before Aliyah or 7 years after, you're only paying 5% on top of the first 6 million shekel. That means, sorry, on the 2 million shekel. First 2 million shekel are completely tax free, and then from there up to about 6 million, you're only paying 0.5% instead of different tax brackets that apply to Israeli residents. Again, 8% if it's a second property, or less their tax brackets if it's your first property. By the way, I said you have to buy it and make Aliyah within 1 year from purchasing, but if you're buying something on paper, you have extensions. Okay, it can even be up to 3 years. There's some terms that apply, but I'm not going to go into that. If someone wants to contact me and ask questions, I'm here in New York until the end of the week, and after that, also of course in WhatsApp, but now you're also on the phone. I'm available until Thursday afternoon. Capital gains tax as well. If you end up selling this property, okay, usually if you're not a resident, you pay 25% on your net profit, after, of course, deducting all your expenses. But over here, if you're a foreign resident, you won't pay because the entire tax law doesn't apply to you. I have to put a little asterisk over here because I said that, you're filing to the agency that's giving you the land, you're filing a statement that you intend on making Aliyah. If eventually you sell it and you didn't make Aliyah yet, I don't know if they're going to ask questions or not, but that has nothing to do with the tax. These two agencies, the tax authority and the Chativa L'Hitiyashvut, do not interface. So I don't see any problem over there. Okay, and that concludes the legal part. I'll see if anyone
Thank
has
you
any
very much,
questions for
Israel.
anyone.
So we really have a bunch of great questions here. A lot of people are asking about apartments. A lot of people are asking about apartments, and we'll be happy to speak about that privately as well. People are asking about if is there air and sun in the basement. So we have these English windows, these large English windows to get as much air and as much sun as you could possibly get. What else are people asking? Let's see. So people are asking about what specifically the architects include in terms of interiors. So, like Israel said, we don't have furniture in these units. They come, you could call them relatively bare, but we have built-in closets, we have a high-end kitchen, and we have a bunch of other features that do come here. But the furniture and stuff like that, the rest of the furniture and stuff like that, you need to bring yourself. The apartments come with white walls. They don't come with any special. I always like saying it that at the end of the day, there are a lot of uh, homes all that you walk into a ton of homes that are in the same development with similar layouts and stuff like that, and you go into every home and they each and every one looks different. Each and every kitchen looks different. So at the end of the day, people like to customize things, and that's why you get a very, very good, you could call it a blank canvas, and you could do a lot with it. Now, our blank canvas is a fancy blank canvas, you could call it. So at the end of the day, there is a lot to work with, but you're going to put in your own touch. Someone asked if there's a mamad in the basement. There is a mamad in the basement. Yes, definitely. The bedroom in the basement is a mamad. It's a great question. What you said?
Somebody asked here about how safe is the neighborhood. So this is a very, very safe neighborhood. Everybody is Jewish. This is a no. There's no crime in the neighborhood. It's very close to central Israel, and it's a wonderful place to live, a wonderful place to raise a family. This is where kids could ride their bikes safely, go visit friends. And all this without any parental supervision for fear of something happening on the way there or something like that.
There's a proper highway going directly to Karnei Shomron. Some people are asking if you could add an elevator. Yes, you can add an elevator where the bathroom, where the guest bathroom is in the entrance of the house, in that whole shaft. There's also another question here about the demographic. So the demographic of Neve Aliza that's right next door is, I would say, older families, but then the demographic of let's say Malay Shomron is some younger families. So I believe that you could come as an older family and have a great time, joining, you could call the Neve Aliza Club. And then at the same time, you could come as a younger family and join other younger families that already bought in the development and younger families that bought in Malay Shomron next door. So this is really a very dynamic place that you could, I think almost any age group would feel very comfortable here. What else?
Somebody asked about can you make the garage into a mamad? That's not so simple to do because mamads are massive concrete room. I mean, Zev could probably elaborate a little more about that. But it's like really thick, a ton of rebar, and you just can't build it anywhere. It has to be a specific place in the home. It's usually in a corner, and you can't do anything you want with it. So it has to stay where it is.
I would love to, if you'd like, afterwards, you could reach out privately to us. You could also scan this barcode and ask us, and we could maybe think about some other options for you and stuff like that. But mainly, that's basically one of the only things that you can't really move, if I'm not mistaken. What else?
On the bottom, there's a nice question.
Yeah. Which?
Yeah, that one.
So some people asked what type of people, what type of profile, religious-wise. So it's a mixed community, but there is a lot of religious families that live there. But you literally have a lot of different types of Jews that live there as well. What else? Any other things? I think we'll conclude here. And I see a bunch more questions. I just won't be able to get to everything. And yes, some people are asking if the 4.9 million shekel is for 2 homes, and only 2 homes. So yes, it's only for 2 homes, and the next homes, the prices will be going up. I think we'll conclude here.
Thank you, Lev.
Thank you, everybody. I really wanted to just say thank you to somebody who was very quiet throughout the whole webinar, but Lisa here orchestrated the whole thing. So thank you so much. And we really appreciate you. And we're very excited to get to speak to everybody who showed up and everybody who didn't show up. And we'll see this recording. And
We're gonna
we'll
be
be in
sending a
touch.
follow-up email.
We'll send a follow-up email very shortly, and we're in the States a lot, and we're always available by phone and by Zoom. So we're looking forward to hearing from you.
Right. Also, if you could send my contact information, I saw someone asked on the Q&As,
course.
if they could have a private session. So I have an American phone while I'm here until Thursday afternoon. So if anyone wants to